So people with no IQs are helping out in this again. I went down to McDonald's about 6 o'clock tonight. Um, some stupid ass in a red truck yelled something about weird with. I was never weird with myself. That's the photoshopping the two clips together, put her in porn. It's not her, it's them. Our second to the third 21. They sold the login to the case. They were bragging with the neighbors. That's where Edith Oakland apartment, Cleveland Avenue, December 21, 4 p.m. He was a toxic water guy and a drug backer. Till someone called him. All the tapes before were them, not her. Wow, what's going on? It's a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will actually stop them. December 21, a white man, bald, dark eyes, was a security guard during the case. Came out from distributing food in front of everybody and said they always knew. The tapes before were them, not me. So they never said a word. He told two investigators by January 3rd of 22, security's walking around with the walkie-talkies and informants here. No one's to say a word to her. And they're saying they're mad. This guy knew they did all this to her before and didn't say a word. It's some guy named Merrick, and we don't know who he is yet. He's wanted by the Massillon Police November 24th, 21, 8:40 in the morning, Altman, Stat, Karen Wales Road. Officer in uniform from Massillon. We're looking for a Steve and Eric for stalking her. We don't know who they are yet. And it's finally got funny after everything they did to her. Nothing's admissible. They keep lying. They keep lying that they have a court order to watch me for an attorney friend. There is no such thing. I told Officer Reinhardt about it in Louisville. He started giggling. He said it comes down to no matter what. No one be allowed in your home. He said until Will took your statement, agreed to protect you, no one's allowed in your home. It's illegal to be in somebody's home, and it's illegal to look or listen. It comes down to that. And it does, per Department of Justice. Who do you report, the police or anyone, for surveillancing you in your home? Police Department, FBI, ICE, and FBI. It's not admissible under the Fourth Amendment right to privacy, illegal search and seizure. Further into the law, police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life. Failure to notify of the threat of life before initiating and speaking to the other people in the home is abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. Then it goes into the right of privacy, illegal search and seizure, because you can always tell someone you don't want their help. It's the United States of America. Now, I have more witnesses. Even Shine, a month ago, I got my hair done there. Not this few weeks ago, but a month ago. They were in there. We could never look or listen to these people's tapes. We just want their involvement in this. And they told the hairdresser they knew everything was photoshopped. Everybody knows it was drugged and photoshopped, and I've never talked to anybody, never questioned wrongdoing by no man, no lady, no officer, no agent. I was being raped, tortured by one of their dirty cops with a stalker, old fat white man. Between July and September 19, they can pull Will's case, protective life case for an informant. Started September 27th, 18. They call it, some of the officers in uniform called it Karen around the house. They said, what's that? One of us have to listen to her or watch her every day. So that's to be in protective custody. The agent didn't bother to find out the undercover police were framing me and drugging me before I called him, and that there was a retired judge's daughter involved, Michelle, young blonde girl. If you go to Walmart 62, food counter, Memorial Day weekend 2019, they still have it, I ask them. A white woman break into an African-American man for, it's my daughter. Her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter. They did all this for. And our family watching her doing this. And for who's Karen's rich boyfriend? But the state of Ohio, who protects her. Mocking me so loud you can hear him to the register. They found it in November. Down at Fine Arts and Lasers, November 23rd, 21. We found the tape of that idiot woman breaking. They did all this for her daughter. Young blonde girl. Dixie knew who Michelle was. 5 judges tried to frame and rape 41 lives before they were stopped. 5 of them. They got 6 to 20 years. Yeah. I've never been questioned with Miranda rights. Never accused. Never found guilty. No man, no lady, no officer, no agent. No attorney, nobody. I was beat, raped, tortured from a stalker, cop, and an old fat white man. They were that far in it. They were the ones hiring all these evil people. Yeah. Now, Judge Pete's supposed to... I thought it was Ludick at first that was doing it. Because the guy that went to Paymer looks like Ludick, okay? And the one that said he drugged me and told me to say something. February 2nd, 22 at Burlington Coat Factory, a young guy by the clothing aisle. Looks like a younger version of the guy that went to Paymer the night before I called Bo back. Okay? I thought it was Ludick because they look like the spawns of Satan. Okay? Well, it's Judge Pete, a little white guy that looks like a little white Santa Claus. His picture was hanging on the wall. 1819 is a retired judge from Portage County, friends with Ludick. That's why the undercover police helped do it. Yeah, they're not funny. These people have committed heinous crimes. They have pretended to be FBI. They have fake badges, and they're fooling everybody and frame the FBI for crimes. You can go to Altman Hospital March 13, 21. They got fake badges to get in the back there, blaming the FBI on the chip. Somebody needs to do something about this. The cops can arrest them because they're nothing but criminals. Like they told that it's just a bunch of men doing crimes. He told his guy that works with him, he's older African-American man, he's like, none of this is funny, what's going on? He said, I know. I told him all the tapes before were them, not her. And it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. They said the investigators that talked to him before he went to the Canton police, that he said they had already talked to the guy at the Hunger Task Force. And they said the same thing. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. Okay? So, unless somebody's afraid of criminals. You want to say you have a fake court order, watch me? There's no such thing. And like Officer Reinhardt said in Louisville, with it being a judge's daughter in that county, they couldn't even work a case against you. They never even questioned me with Miranda rights. When I see cops in uniform, it's hi, sweetie. Abigail Watkins is a Portage County prosecutor. She never mentioned it. Neither did a Portage County sheriff. Nothing. And when I reported Dave, they didn't want to hear it. Because that judge protects him. And like they said, because of these people involvement, her exes got away with attempted murder. Now I'm being followed and harassed everywhere I go. None of this is funny. They use low-life people with low IQs. And I'll tell you what, if I was an African-American lady and they did this too, Black Lives Matter would have burned the nation down. It's these low-life white people that don't have enough common sense to be mad at criminals. There's no such thing as this. And there's no such thing as sodium pentothal reports. No coerced confession is admissible. You're not allowed to stalk somebody in your home. It would take your legal defenses away. Wake up, dumbasses. I mean, you can't, you take your right to remain quiet, right to legal representation, right to a fair court trial, bail and bond, and a right to privacy. The law actually states for every civil right that's broke, it's 1 to 10 years. Department of Justice. And for anybody being involved in illegal surveillance, it could be 5 years or more. It's illegal search and seizure, and the officer would lose their badge. Real law is if attorney tapes you unaware in your home, that they lose their license and has to compensate you and they go to jail. It's illegal search and seizure. Just like no coerced confession is admissible. You can't drug somebody up and get them high. And then you wouldn't have to worry about them putting 2 clips together and putting her in porn and some guy out down the way. You framed her before? Yeah, I framed her before. Shame on you. I know, I wish I wouldn't have done it. I feel bad about everything. These people even raped her. You should. Amy heard it clear in her apartment, and the apartment building for me second one offense was calling them bastards for framing me. They heard it clear down in Navarre because these people sold a protective life case for an informant that they were supposed to protect. They made money at my expense. Would someone please get down here and help? They mentioned illegal surveillance, a fake court order. They said they had fake paperwork to make it look official. There's no such thing. You can't get a court order to watch somebody. Would somebody wake up? You wouldn't have legal defenses. They can't even watch drug lords in their homes.
are people bailed out on murder charges. The most they can do on those is put on the murder charges, and they're already facing trial. Just put an ankle bracelet if they flee, because they throw the case out. They've lost their minds. And you know what's something? Everybody knows I'm drugged and photoshopped, and people seen so many different versions. Some ladies like, I've talked to so many people that have seen so many different versions of the tapes before, I don't want to hear about it no more. They can't even look at it. You admit you have it to a cop, you have to arrest them. Like Reinhardt said in the Massillon Police, nothing they have is admissible. It's illegal what they did. It is. It is. They have Dave nailed for I love you, but I love her more. I'm so sorry, Karen, you have to die for her. I hired a man to slit your throat, stab you in the heart, you'll bleed out, Karen. But I got a man to put a bullet in you if you run. And me on the phone with that woman. I didn't hang up. They had her on speaker. For the church has taken up money to have me murdered. Because Vega wants me dead. They took up the strange Keith Bishop and Ron. Took up $25,000 to have me murdered. Because I got wealthier, his kid died. Had nothing to do with his death. His father-in-law ran a stop sign in 2003. It's that sick. But I got well that year, and that minister plays with people and told everybody I was faking I was sick and faking I got well to hurt poor Ron while he's grieving that he's mental. He lost it at the funeral, laying his body across the child, screaming. Laid his body on the floor, that wailing until they had to carry him out. 8 years later on a pulpit, I hate God for taking the thing I love the most, but not demeaning my other children, but I hate him. A man's a millionaire. I have documents I was sick, MRI reports, and blood work. I had nothing to do with nothing. But that bastard in that church manipulates everybody. And they're so controlled that when Vega's kid died, there was other people following him to that baseball game. His father-in-law ran a stop sign. Somebody hit him. It's Phil's fault. 100% Phil's. People from the church were following him instead of calling Vega and saying, hey, your kid just got killed. Call Joyce. Your husband just got killed. They called the minister. They have to have permission. He called him Myers and hung up on him. Called him names. They're panicking one by one. And they're too much of children call him themselves. They had to wait till they got to the hospital and had the hospital call him. Brian Laney goes to Blaylock's. He showed up at our house and told us about it, said it was horrible. They were pleading with him to call him. They're such a controlled. They're adults and they couldn't make a phone call themselves. It's an occult. They actually have that phone call, and they actually have that. And they have September, should be 5th in the evening, of him and Jack having this plan since March, and I wouldn't give up everything willingly. They have to do it this way. They have all that. Like this guy, one of the security guards that watch me, that's the case. They have to get everything for his girlfriend, and then to get even with me for getting well the year Ron's kid died. That's the case. That's the case. This is premeditation, obstruction to justice if I didn't die. I don't think Judge Pete and his undercover police are funny. And like Officer Reinhardt said, with it being a judge's daughter in that county, they couldn't say a legal word to my life. Cops in uniform is, hi, sweetie. They probably think they lost their ever-loving minds. Portage County Prosecutor Abigail Watkins never mentioned a word. Told me to go make a report on Dave. To the Portage County Sheriff's. Lady officer walks me out. Now it's undercover police and Judge Pete doing it. Told me to run around and tell everyone I know what's going on and hold the FBI accountable. People got away with too much and it was them. They were telling everybody they were agents from the agency stationed in the courthouse. No, they're dirty cops. The cop that raped me tried to threaten to arrest me at Faith Family Church. In my church, the young usher with black hair yelled at him, what you did was considered rape. You leave her alone. But they tortured me for we can't have her state what happened up there. They put that on the internet too. And sold this login like a reality show. I was in Citizens Bank 3 times back. You can pull their surveillance on West Tusk, Look, it's Karen around the house. People have all this hurt and pain for personal enjoyment. Now, would someone please do something about this? If the FBI doesn't want to help because of Will's gross negligence of not bothering to look into anything, where I was being victimized, where that guy told on me the night before and my head was swimming and I could only remember the What a Shame guy. I could even have told him about the guy trying to kidnap me, try to carjack me, threaten to knife me at Giant Eagle, and he could have gotten one of the bastards the first day. I could only remember the What a Shame guy, and if he wouldn't have said that he needed a witness, I wouldn't even remember that I asked Sarah to talk to him. Because my head was swimming, and it was swimming the day before, and I had to go out and mow the lawn to get air in my face to even think of asking Sarah to witness for me. That's not my fault. I was being victimized under amnesia drugs, where I had orange-sized and grapefruit-sized bruises and hand marks on my arms. They were even beating me under drugs for it, called the FBI. The FBI needs to pull Will's protective life custody case. Someone needs to. The police departments just start arresting these people. They mention illegal surveillance. You put them in jail for it. Somebody needs to do something about it. Because they were Thursday, I was in Mercy Medical, those weird men with the computers that showed up after they chipped me. Showed up and said, that's the one we use for an example how to process people, and we're going to start processing more this way. Ravenna's lost its mind. And that weird man that said he was a handler's man, white man, now Dixie's seen him, and so did Darlene Rhines. He was in Bob Evans when we went down to get pie. Big white guy, bald, with red beard, was sitting behind me. A blonde lady claiming she's a psychiatrist. He's claiming he's a handler, and those were his men, easy boys. There's a white man with his hair parted off to the side. Yeah, and he's waving at me with a guy that looks like my middle kid, Joshy, and said, those are my men, easy boys. Now, Dixie seen him when they were bullying me out of my jewelry, when they put a hit on my granddaughter's life, and then ordered me to give $18,000 in jewelry back in Wendy's in Maslin. They were sitting at a side table while big men at the pop counter were ordering me to give it back while I'm holding this tiny little baby, thinking if I gave it back, they'd leave her alone. And they didn't. The Maslin police drive around trying to keep them safe. Okay? He's the one that was in Wendy's later on. We ought to chip her. You can't chip her. Why? She didn't do anything wrong. Her family don't care about her. Okay? He also was the one that said he left his comb on Dave's dresser the day that I was 12/21/18, where I had big hand marks embedded in my ribs. And I had the dent in my skull and a steak knife in the sink with bone and flesh in it, and I had been stabbed at the neck of the refrigerator. There's a video of them doing it. That means he was the one holding me down. They only used amnesia drugs on me. I bet I was screaming my head off. They didn't give me anesthetic. They stabbed me in the neck with an amnesia drug. The dirty bastards. And they framed the FBI March 13, 21, 2:53 p.m. that the agency chipped me, and I talked to the FBI, and they didn't know anything about it. Now, you need to get down here. You need to pull Altman's tapes of March 13, 21, 2:53 p.m. They're in there with fake badges to get in the back. Frame the FBI for the chip. That dirty bastard was outside my house Thursday night. Said, what do you mean? They're going to process some more people like this. We let them do it to her because nobody cared about her. My life matters. I almost died to save my family. And I lived through this hell trying to save my children and let them come after me. These people that follow me and harass me don't even have enough integrity to cut my toenails. They didn't live through this hell. I did. Trying to save other people and got raped and tortured, trying to help some lady that said her husband died. I need someone to even pull the police report near Christmas of 18 and see if they actually did die, because Dave got caught outside the house of how they murder people. And the male nurse's house tried to grab me the next day when I ran from him. There's witnesses, and there's actually a real protective life case. September 27th, 18. Turned over to the police to protect me, not knowing they were involved, for a fucking judge daughter. He's supposed to get me for insulting his baby, or all you can fuck himself. Dirty little bastard. Now please help me. 5 judges raped and framed 41 lives before they were stopped, and they got 6 to 20 years. 139 judges failed to excuse herself for friends and family and rolled over cases. Got 10 years or $1 million fine. Like Reinhardt said, with it being a judge in that county, they got say a legal word to your life. That's why the ones in uniform is high sweetie. They probably think these people have lost their minds. All they do is drive by, have pay people to follow me, harass me, call me names in stores. Like my last client, Paul, he said, Karen, this is crazy. I said, who's crazy? He said, these people, they admit to drugging you and telling you to say stuff in stores, and they raped you in front of people in stores. It's crazy. I said, keep an eye on it. I tell the police where to pull. Now, would someone please get me out of here?